Every time you touch your phone, something touches your mind back. Not physically, psychologically. You open an app for one reason, and somehow, 20 minutes disappear. You didn't plan it. You didn't decide it consciously. But it happened anyway. And the strange part is, it keeps happening. Again, and again, and again. At some point you stop asking, why am I wasting time? And start asking, how is this so effective? Because digital manipulation doesn't look like manipulation. It looks convenient, personalized, entertaining, helpful. That's what makes it dangerous. The system doesn't fight your brain. It studies it, tracks it, learns it, then quietly adapts around it. And once technology learns how your mind reacts, it can start influencing what you do next. Without force, without commands, without you even noticing it. Your brain was never built for this. Your brain evolved to survive in the real world, not the digital one. It evolved for slow environments, limited information, real human interaction. But now, your brain faces something completely unnatural. Infinite stimulation, infinite novelty, infinite interruption. Every swipe brings something new. A face, a headline, a conflict, a reward. And your brain reacts to novelty automatically, because novelty once helped humans survive. But online, that survival mechanism gets exploited. The system constantly feeds your brain small, unpredictable rewards. And unpredictable rewards are powerful. Much more powerful than predictable ones. That's why refreshing a feed feels addictive. Because your brain keeps expecting, maybe the next thing will be important. Dopamine isn't happiness. Most people misunderstand dopamine. It's not pleasure. It's anticipation. It's the chemical connected to pursuit, expectation, seeking, and digital platforms are built around that mechanism. Notifications, likes, messages, new content, all of them create anticipation loops. Your brain learns, check phone, possible reward. And once that loop forms, your behavior starts becoming automatic. You stop checking consciously. Your hand moves before your mind does. That's why many people unlock their phones, without even knowing why. Variable rewards control attention. One of the strongest psychological systems ever discovered is variable reward. Unpredictable outcomes. Sometimes the content is boring. Sometimes it's amazing. Sometimes nothing happens. Sometimes you get a message, a like, a viral clip. Your brain never knows when the reward will appear. And uncertainty increases engagement. Because uncertain rewards create stronger behavioral repetition. That's why slot machines work. And digital platforms use similar principles. Not because they want to entertain you, but because unpredictability keeps you returning. Attention can be shaped. What you repeatedly pay attention to starts shaping your perception, your emotional state, your priorities, even your identity. Because attention is not passive. Attention changes the brain. The more often you react to outrage, the easier outrage becomes. The more often you consume fast stimulation, the harder slow focus becomes. Digital systems understand this. That's why emotionally intense content spreads faster. Because emotional reactions create engagement. And engagement creates profit. The system is always testing you. Every interaction becomes data. How long you watched, where you paused, what you skipped, what you replayed, what made you react emotionally, and then the system adjusts. Quietly, constantly. Different people see different versions of reality online. Different feeds, different headlines, different emotional environments. Not because the system cares about truth, but because it cares about performance. And performance means attention retained. Manipulation works best when it feels natural. The strongest manipulation never feels aggressive. It feels normal, easy, comfortable. That's why most people never notice it. Because manipulation today doesn't arrive as control. It arrives as convenience, recommendations, personalization, automation. The system doesn't need to force behavior. It only needs to gently guide it. One notification, one recommendation, one emotional trigger at a time. And over months, small influences become habits. And habits become identity. Imagine someone followed you all day, watched everything you looked at, measured every reaction, tracked every hesitation, learned what excites you, what scares you, what keeps you engaged. You'd probably call that disturbing. But online, that process became normal, invisible, expected, and maybe that's the strangest part of all. Not that digital manipulation exists, but how quickly people adapted to it. How quickly the human mind accepted being studied, in exchange for stimulation. So maybe the real question isn't, is technology manipulating us? Maybe the real question is, at what point did manipulation become the default environment? And if an environment shapes behavior every single day, how much of your thinking still feels truly yours?